Hi, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Forex with a free US dollar index Elliott Wave analysis for you for the New York trading session dated Wednesday the 12th of January. It's late, so I'm going to make this one a little briefer than usual, possibly. This is my daily chart for the dollar. This is my main wave count. I do have a couple of alternates. If you would like to have a look at those, you can find them on, I think, not the previous dollar video, but the one before that I looked at them. If you also want to have a look at the big picture historical analysis, you can find that on my previous dollar video. I'm just going to start out tonight with the daily chart. This is expecting that the dollar's in a third wave at intermediate degree to the upside, within a primary wave 3 to the upside. My long-term target for 3 black is where it reaches 1.618, the length of wave 1 black. We're going to take a few months to get there, and that will be achieved at 99.16. Because the second wave at black degree was such a very deep correction of wave 1, it's extremely likely that wave 3 will be longer than wave 1, and the most likely relationship to wave 1 will be 1.618. So this is a pretty high probability target for the long term. When the price moves above 88.708, which is the high I have for label wave 1 black, which is now just off to the left of the chart, at that point a couple of my alternate wave counts will be invalidated, so I consider this one will be confirmed also. Wave 3 must move beyond the end of wave 1, so we'll have confirmation that it's a third wave at that stage. My shorter term target, my mid-term target for the end of 3 blue is 88.18, and that may be achieved in another 2 weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks or so, another couple of weeks or so. Within this third wave at intermediate degree, we've got an impulse up for 1, a double zigzag, ABC for W joined by X, ABC for Y. For a wave 2 at blue or minor degree, I expect we're within a third wave at blue or minor degree, with a 1, 2, and working on wave 3 to the upside now. I will leave the invalidation point in the daily chart down here at this stage. Any further extension to the downside of wave 2 blue may not move beyond the start of wave 1. Until price moves above this point, I consider that wave 3 blue is not confirmed but must move beyond the end of wave 1. At that stage, I'll then move the invalidation point up to here, the start of wave 3 blue. We're not there yet though. Taking you now to the hourly chart, where this high here up here is this point up here. This is about the point where my last analysis ended a couple of days ago, and I was expecting some further downwards movement. At that stage I was simply looking out for the fourth wave of 1 lesser degree, and we should draw a Fibonacci ratio along wave 1 green. We'll find the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio lies at 79.745, which is in the middle of my target zone. At 79.804, wave C orange beginning here will reach 2.618, the length of wave A orange, at 79.706. Wave 5 purple beginning here will reach 0.618, the length of wave 3 purple. So that's my target zone with a 0.618 Fibonacci ratio in the middle of it. So a bit of a cluster there, so I expect this is a pretty high probability that we're going to see in the next few hours a little bit more downwards movement for the dollar somewhere in this zone. Around about this point we should be looking out for a trend change. We can draw a trend channel around this, but it's not really going to be of that much use. It's going to sit around about here, and we'd have to see price moving up to this area before we can confirm that we had a trend change and wave 3 green was then underway. Within wave C orange, within this second wave correction, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've had, since I did this chart, a little bit further downwards movement. So wave 5 is well underway. Wave 3 here is just 0.162 longer than wave 1, so they're reasonably close to equality, not that close, and 3 is the longest. So wave 5 is more likely to have a tighter Fibonacci ratio or relationship with either 1 or 3, because there's not really a tight enough relationship there, I expect. Any further downwards movement for wave 2 cannot move beyond the start of wave 1, which is now off to the left of the chart and sits at 78.775. We should not expect at this stage price to move below that point. I expect there's a very high probability of a trend change in the next few hours or so towards the upside, and when we see price move above this point, above the high of wave 1 green at 81.313, I'll consider that wave 3 green would be at that stage confirmed. The probability of price moving above this point in the short term above 81.313 I expect at this stage is very high indeed. This has an absolutely typical corrective look and is exactly what we were expecting. So I think that we're almost at the end of that downwards trend for the dollar. It's coming up pretty soon. Looking out for a trend change to the upside, and I expect that's got a pretty high probability of moving above 81.313. When I know the end to green, I can then calculate a more short-term target for the upside for the end to this next long impulsive wave to the upside. That's all for me with your dollar analysis, and I hope that this helps you in your trading.